Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Friday, the final day of the week, the day after Arsenal beat Molde 3-0 in the Europa League, and 2 days away from them return to the Premier League against Wolves on Sunday evening at the Emirates. I obviously spoke quite a bit about last night's game in yesterday's video, doing my player ratings and match review, so I won't go over too much of that from yesterday. I want to take a look at a couple of fresh bits that I thought I'd talk about in today's video, doing a little bit of team news at the end and my predicted 11 for Leeds. But like I said, I did do the video last night on the game where I explored what I thought happened, who played well, that sort of thing, gave some comments from Mikel Arteta in his press conference and gave my player rating. So if you haven't seen that video yet, then please do head down there. It's the last one published before this one, and take a look at that. Right, let's get going on what I wanted to talk about today. The first bit of news really is Arsenal had a little bit of trouble last night after finishing their game. They wanted to fly home. They wanted to get back to England last night straight after the game, but they didn't. They got stuck in Norway because of bad weather in London. They were going to be flying out, obviously, back to London last night, but they couldn't. They weren't guaranteed a landing spot because of thick fog in London at the time. So the decision was made not to take off in Norway and to spend another night over there, and they're going to fly home this morning, and then they're going to train at London Colney this afternoon. So not ideal with that Premier League game against Leeds on Sunday, but obviously safety first. You don't want to take any risks. You don't want to fly over to England and then not be able to land and have to fly off to God knows where to get a landing spot. The decision was taken to stay in Norway, and they're heading back today. And looking out of my window here, and I don't live far away from Heathrow or the other airports around here, and it's gorgeous sunny blue sky, so not going to have any problems at landing today. Like I said, they will be heading straight to London Colney this afternoon, where they will train. I mean, it's going to be more of a warm down recovery session really than the full-on training session. I imagine they will be in tomorrow for a session, and then obviously the game on Sunday. So not ideal preparations ahead of Leeds, but I don't think Mikel Arteta will be losing too much sleep. And obviously it does even give the players a proper night's sleep last night, rather than sitting cramped on a plane, getting in at 2 a.m, having to go home and arriving, getting home at 3 a.m. So they're going to have a nice proper sleep over there and fly home today. Nicolas Pepe, obviously the star of the show last night. I spoke at length about him in the video after the game. Not available this weekend, as we know, because of that red card against Leeds. He will miss tomorrow, he'll miss Tottenham, and then he'll miss Burnley as well. So who replaces Nicolas Pepe, who showed last night just how good he can be, just how important he can be to this team, what he brings to this team when he's bang on it, and really excellent performance from Pepe, and Arsenal certainly going to miss him in these next 3 games. So who replaces him? Obviously the obvious answer is Willian, because Willian has been keeping Pepe out the side in the Premier League this season, but we all know Willian has not been playing very well, and Willian now is a doubt because of an injury. Arsenal are hoping he will be available to face Leeds, but they're not entirely sure just yet. So can Reiss Nelson play on the right in the Premier League? I certainly think he can. I think he showed last night just how good he can be. Obviously he was on the other side last night on the left, but naturally he's a right-footed player. He plays on the right wing, always has done. And I think he deserves a shot. I think if you play as well as he did last night, then surely you warrant yourself a starting spot in the Premier League. So I think Reiss Nelson has got a fabulous opportunity now to really put down a marker, really, and show Mikel Arteta, look, I'm here, I'm good enough, I want to play in the Premier League. And he's got 3 games potentially to do that. And it'll be really interesting to see how he gets on, because he's always such a talented player yesterday. Such a talented player, Reiss Nelson, and he showed that yesterday with that performance. And maybe he hasn't done it enough, certainly in the Premier League when he's been given his opportunities, but he's a player that Mikel Arteta really, really likes working with. And Mikel Arteta was very glowing in his praise for Nelson after last night's game. I did touch on it in yesterday's video, but I'll just go through some of the quotes again, what he had to say about Reiss Nelson and the improvement that he's made recently. He spoke about as well his determination to stay at Arsenal rather than go out on loan, which he could have done in the summer, and Mikel Arteta was very impressed with that. He says he's made some big steps in the last month or so. He's shown what he can do. He's a player that wants to take you on all the time. He's very vertical. He's a great player when he runs in behind, and he's very unpredictable. I really like these types of players to play in wide positions. Defensively, there are some things that he still needs to do better, and he will improve on that. But he's a much more mature player. He showed great attitude in my opinion, to say that he didn't want to leave on loan because he believes he's got a chance to play for this football club. He's showing that he wants to take that direction. He's performing in the right way. So big, nice words there. Big words from Mikel Arteta on Reiss Nelson. And he was asked during the press conference, what's changed? What has made him improve in the last sort of month, 2 months or so? And he says, we're doing a lot of work with him. Obviously, he's so willing. He's asking for more all the time. He wants individual meetings. He wants to work on the pitch in certain aspects in which he can improve. He's training really, really well. He's developing as well. He's had a click, and we needed that click. Now it's up to him, but I must say the last performance has been really good. Interesting words there. He's had a click. It's like Mikel Arteta has always believed in Reiss Nelson. He said that from the very start. He used to work with him when Nelson was about 14, 15, when Mikel Arteta was a player but was injured, and used to take some of the youth teams at Arsenal when Nelson was a player that he immediately thought, he's something special. I remember when he first arrived, he said, look, Reiss can be as good as he wants to be. He's that talented. But it's obviously been a little bit of a mental thing with Reiss, because we all know how good he is. We all know, we saw when he burst onto the scene in Australia in that pre-season tour, what he's like, what he can do, the talent that he's got. But maybe the mental side of things has held him back a little bit. It's restricted him. It's stopped him from expressing himself. But he's a talented kid. He really is. And it's a real opportunity now for him to, like I said, lay down a marker in the Premier League. So in terms of who replaces Pepe, I really think Nelson deserves a chance now. Played well, and he warrants a chance, warrants an opportunity in the Premier League. So I'd love to see him on the right-hand side against Wolves on Sunday. It will be interesting to see the formation that Mikel Arteta goes with against Wolves. Like, that we're beginning to see, I think, the move away from the back four. We've seen it in the last couple of games now. It's been a 4-2-3-1 formation. We saw it at Leeds. We had Willock at the number 10, Willian on the right. Willian was on the left, wasn't he? Pepe was on the right, and Aubameyang was up front. And we saw it again yesterday. Different personnel, but the same formation. We had Lacazette playing as a deeper number 10, Eddie Nketiah up front, and then Pepe and Nelson as the wingers. So I think we're finally beginning to see the shift away from the back three that we were all expecting once Thomas Partey arrived. Obviously, Partey might not be available to play at the weekend, which will be a shame, but I think certainly his arrival is going to be the sort of catalyst for the move away from the back three that Mikel Arteta basically had turned to towards the end of last season, and certainly served Arsenal well, helped them win a couple of trophies. But I think if you want to score more goals, if you want to create more chances, then you've got to get an extra midfielder or an extra attacker on the pitch. And I think Mikel Arteta has begun to, he's realised that now. He can see just how much Arsenal are struggling in the final third, and we're beginning to see that move away now. So it'll be certainly, I'm intrigued to see what he goes with against Wolves, who are a team who play with three at the back normally, although they did go over back four in their last game on Monday night. I think it was the 1-1 draw. With Palace. Was it Palace? Yeah, I think it was Palace. And he went with a back four because I think Conor Cody wasn't in the team, but Cody will be back this weekend, so he's probably going to go back to a back three. So what will Arteta do? Will he match up against Wolves with the back three, or will he go for four, try and get an extra man in there who can get on the ball, have a little bit of space and try and make things happen? I think he's going to go 4-2-3-1 again. I think, as I said, that we're beginning to see that shift now. Even though, unfortunately, Thomas Partey is a doubt, and there's a few other players who is a doubt, but it's something we've all wanted. I think I've certainly tell by all your comments that you leave and on social media as well. The back three is beginning to frustrate people. They think it's beginning, the lack of goals, the lack of creativity. A lot of people put down to that system, and it's maybe making Arsenal tougher to beat, and they're not conceding many goals. We've seen that, but it's stopping them going forward. And I think we all know that Arsenal need to score more goals if they're going to get results, because at the moment they're just not scoring enough. And I think we'll see. Go 4-2-3-1 against Wolves. On Sunday. Team news for that game against Wolves. We will get another update from Arsenal probably tomorrow. But as far as what I know on the team news going into the weekend, so for all your fantasy football managers out there, in terms of Thomas Partey, he's still a big doubt for Arsenal. He hasn't been training. I don't know if he could train today for the first time. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything on that. But so far, he hasn't been training. He's been doing all his recovery and rehab in the gym. He doesn't think he's too serious, but he's hopeful of getting back very, very soon. But whether this game comes a little bit too soon for him, it's looking, in terms of what I've heard, that's looking more likely that it's going to be a doubt. But we will find out tomorrow what Arsenal have to say about Thomas Partey. But the fact he wasn't risked going over to Norway, the fact he hasn't started training yet, it's pointing towards him not being available for the Wolves game, which will be a shame because we know how good Thomas Partey is. Better news on Bukayo Saka. It looks like Saka will be fine. He didn't go to Norway for the game, but Arsenal say he should be fine for the match against Wolves. He suffered that sort of leg injury against Leeds late on at Ellen Road last weekend, and it'll be very important to have Bukayo Saka back. We saw the difference he made when he came on against Leeds in that second half, and what he added to Arsenal in an attacking sense. David Luiz went off yesterday at half time. He got a real sort of whack in the first half. I was pushing Mikel Arteta quite a bit on it after the game, asking, what is he all right? What is the injury? And he wouldn't say exactly what the injury was. So we're still a little bit unclear in terms of exactly what it was. But it looked like he took quite a big whack, and could it be concussion or something like that? So we'll have to wait and see what Arsenal say on that. To what Mikel Arteta said to me is, we hope he is okay. The surfaces being bring different challenges to some players that have issues in their bodies, and it's quite aggressive to play on this surface. So we want to take zero risk on that. It is okay. He should be fine. So what Arteta says there, it doesn't sound like it's something to do with his head. It sounds like it's something more to do with his body, and the artificial surface was maybe making that flare up. So we'll have to wait and see with Arsenal's update on that. But Mikel Arteta, to me, said that he thinks Luiz should be fine for the weekend. Kolasinac and El Neni, Arsenal have yet to confirm whether they've even been allowed to join in with training yet. Obviously, both of them having tested positive for coronavirus. I would put them certainly down as doubts. I'm not sure we'll be seeing Kolasinac and El Neni for those games. You've got to think as well, they haven't been training for a long time now. So even if they have been will be allowed to join in with the group again, they've got, they're not going to be absolutely bang on it in terms of match fitness. So I think we'll probably can count El Neni and Kolasinac out. Willian 50-50 with his calf problem. Arsenal hopeful he will be available to play Wolves, but not guaranteed yet. And then your long-termers of Mari, Martinelli and Chambers, very much working their way back, all of them training again now. But I'm not sure we're going to see them against Wolves. I think we'll probably, we've got the Rapid Vienna game next Thursday. Perhaps a couple of them could be involved in that, or they'll get games for the under-23s. The under-23s play tonight, actually. It wouldn't be a surprise at all, certainly to see Callum Chambers play in that, but I'm not sure about the other two. But you think Callum Chambers will certainly get another game for the under-23s. Right, just to finish this video off, I'm going to give my predicted 11, which I'm sure will be totally wrong for the Wolves game. Remember, this is a predicted 11. It's not based on any fact or anything like that. I'm not saying this is a team that's going to start against Wolves. It's a team that I'm predicting may well start against Wolves. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to go with a 4-2-3-1 formation. So I'm going to have Bernd Leno in goal. Absolutely going to be Bernd Leno in goal. We all know that. Then I'm going to go with a back four. Hex Bellerin, Gabriel, Rob Holding and Kieran Tierney. If Partey, which looks likely, doesn't make it, obviously no El Neni as well. I think we're going to see again Granit Xhaka and Dani Ceballos in the central midfield sort of pivot role. Xhaka came off in the second half yesterday, got a little bit of a rest. Ceballos came on for in the second half, so he didn't start or anything. Neither of them played the 90 minutes. So I think they'll both start in that sort of midfield pivot role on Sunday. And then my front four, I'm going to go with Nelson on the right. I think he deserves his starting spot. I think he'll start on the right wing. I'm going to go Joe Willock, who got 2 assists yesterday, as the number 10. Bukayo Saka on the left side, and then Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as the central striker. That's my predicted 11. It'll be interesting if Willian is fit. If Mikel Arteta tries to get Willian into that team, potentially even as a number 10. Or not, we'll have to wait and see. But I think, given the fact he didn't train this week, I think you're probably more than likely to see if Willian is fit that he will start on the bench. So Nelson, Willock, Saka and Aubameyang. That's my front four for Arsenal against Wolves on Sunday. Right, thank you everyone for watching this video. I do appreciate it, and please do go outside, enjoy the sunshine today as best as you can in these weird lockdown at times. And if any of you are going to be getting on the phone to Arsenal at 9 a.m. tomorrow to try and get tickets for the Rapid Vienna game, best of luck to you all. I can't wait to see fans in the stadium next Thursday night. Even if it's only going to be 2,000 of them, it's just going to be fantastic heading up to the Emirates and seeing some fans in their Arsenal shirts milling around the ground waiting to go in, and then hearing them inside that stadium. So please, honestly, if you're up there, if you're on those phones line at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, I know how frustrating it's going to be. I know exactly what the Arsenal ticketing scheme system is like, and I can't even imagine what it's going to be like with everyone piling on a first come first serve basis to try and get those tickets. So best of luck to you all. And if you don't get it, hopefully you'll get in the ballot sooner rather than later. So thank you everyone for watching. Enjoy your Friday and enjoy your weekend. I'll be back from the Emirates on Sunday for my next video.